Hey guys, this is Gavanelli and welcome to another Hackintosh video. These days I don't do too many tutorials, and you're probably thinking, well, you really didn't do too many tutorials anyway, but you might be right. But you can't say I don't teach or educate you. The main reason for this video is I go to a lot of forums, and I go to a lot of Facebook groups of both Hackintoshes and Apple owners alike, and OS X users, and you get the new booties coming on who are taking interest in OS X or Hackintosh, and the first thing they want to know is, would it be in their best interest to either A, build a Hackintosh, or B, buy Hackintosh products. So in this video I will be introducing my new toy, my Mac Mini. Now this is the 2010 version, and the difference between the 2010 version, the main difference is the newer Mac Minis that are out now don't have a DVD slot. It's just flat there, it's just nice and smooth. And they also come with, if I'm correct, according to the Apple site, 8 gigs of RAM. This one comes with 2 gigs of RAM, and the processor inside of it is a Core 2 point something. The ones that are in the new Mac Minis are i7s, and this one has an NVIDIA chip, onboard graphics chip. The newer ones have the HD 4000, the Intel HD 4000. I prefer NVIDIA. You know how I roll. Okay, so let the comparison begin. If you're building a Hackintosh, if you're trying to, if you're on a budget, you need power, but you're on a budget, then Hackintosh is your thing. And what I mean by power is, if you're doing video editing and stuff like that, you probably can get away with doing it on this. I would not say do it on this, okay? And the reason for that is the processor in this 2010 MacBook Air is 1.4, I believe. And the RAM is the RAM is 2 gigs, and the RAM is soldered on here, so there is no upgrading the RAM. The CPU is soldered on here. There is no updating the CPU. Once you commit, that's it. So you're gonna need all the power you can get for editing, for like I can't think of rendering, for like rendering and stuff like that. If you're trying to make beats, you probably can get away with using Reason, but I mean, if you're using a lot of samples and stuff like that, you can can it. Now, if you're using your Mac Mini to do videos and stuff like that, you can always update the RAM. You can always update the RAM, upgrade the RAM. You can even add a bigger hard drive, but you cannot change the processor. From what I've read, you cannot change the processor. I haven't took this thing apart, and I refuse to, but you cannot change the processor. The processor is soldered onto the board. You probably can if you're some sort of soldering guru, but if you're not, I wouldn't even take the chance of trying to do so. Now, with old faithful Hackintosh here, what I got inside of here is this is a Core 2 quad, 4 cores on the processor, and there's 4 gigs of RAM. And I can run music programs on here just because I have a pretty powerful processor in here, and I have a pretty decent amount of RAM in here. Now, when it comes to doing super large projects, like if I'm using something along the lines of Studio One, Cakewalk, with a shitload of plugins, then eventually I'm going to feel the limitation of my hardware. So easily this wins. Now, if you're not looking to go through all the problems you may face with building a Hackintosh, then I suggest you save your money and get you a Mac Mini or an iMac. Or, if you're not looking to do all that stuff I just named, you just want a basic computer, and you just want to be comfortable, and you want the confidence of knowing that shit's not really going to happen. Bad stuff is not going to really happen while you're doing stuff on your computer, or you're sending email, or you're doing just basic computing. Then you can either go with this, or you probably can get you an iPad, depending on what you're trying to do, what type of basic computing you're trying to do, or what type of word processing you're trying to do. So then that's when you would go with these two. So I'm going to paint some pictures here for you. So let's move over here. Alright. What we have here is an Asus board with 8 gigs of RAM and an i3 sitting under this CPU fan, an i3 processor. And we have an NVIDIA card right here. Now let's just say, for the sake of argument, I want to change this i3 processor. I want to swap that with this i5. I can do that. I can just remove the fan, lift up the CPU, put the new CPU in there, lock it in there, drop this fan over top of it, and we're done. Let's say I don't like this NVIDIA card and I want to be the kind of person that goes, I like AMD, me. Now I can do that. I can just remove the NVIDIA card and drop the Radeon card in there, or I can just upgrade the RAM, or I can change this power supply if I want to without a lot of hassle, or I can change this case with little to no type of modification. So that's where the Hackintosh shines. But you have problems, man. Sometimes you have these things called kernel panics, and sometimes a kernel panic is okay. You can, it's just a kernel panic, and you can just reboot the machine and possibly lose, the stuff you was trying to do, and you have to start over. The kernel panics can be a pain in the ass with a Hackintosh. Sometimes you see little to no kernel panics on these legit Apple products, and sometimes if you can build from what I hear, you can build a solid Hackintosh. But I'm here to tell you from my experience, they're not always 100% solid. Like my i5 Hackintosh that I built, I installed Lion on there, and I installed Mountain Lion, and everything would be fine. The next thing you know, I would get a kernel panic. I fixed the kernel panic, or I reboot the machine, and everything is good. The next thing you know, within the next hour or two, bam, another kernel panic. It got so bad with both Lion and Mountain Lion that I had to remove the two, and I installed Snow Leopard, I'm sorry. And Snow Leopard's been running good, but it's kind of a kick in the ass to me, because I don't want to be running Snow Leopard on an i5. I want to be running the newest operating system, Mountain Lion. I want to be running that. Plus, I got all these Apple devices like I got the Apple TV, I got the iPhone 4S, I got the iPod 4, I got the iPod 5. So I have a lot of, I have quite a few Apple devices in my home, and they all utilize the iCloud. Now, in some cases, your Hackintosh, the parts that you're using, it may not coincide with certain things like AirPlay. I've read that some people Hackintoshes, they can do AirPlay mirroring with their Hackintosh. But again, you have to do a lot of reading and make sure, excuse me everybody, you got to do a lot of reading and make sure that your parts are compliant with certain standards. So if you don't want to do all that, and you just want to straight take it out the box and have a good time, then so be it. Get you the real deal. You need to build a powerful machine to utilize the OS X platform. Boom. Because again, I spent a little under $500 to build this. That's not even enough to buy this or that. But with this, I feel comfortable and confident that I can do my work and not have a problem or suffer a crash or a kernel panic. And the same goes with this. So there's no frustration. There's going to be frustrations with building a Hackintosh. You just have to be patient. But the beautiful thing about building a Hackintosh, you can learn from it, and when you learn from it, it makes you a better Hackintosher, and it also encourages you to build more. Once you build that one pleasing machine, it encourages you to build more. And in my case, after building several of them, you just say, man, you know what, I'm going to just go and get one. Or you just look for the deals. So there you have it. I am done. I'm sorry for talking a hole in your head, but basically the answer to the question, or to the popular question or curiosity, is purely subjective. It all depends what you're trying to do, and what your goal is, what your wants is, and what your needs are. So again, you need a powerful budget machine. You build a Hackintosh. If you just want a computer, if you want to just be on the OS X platform and you just want security, or you want to feel like you're secure without crashing and kernel panics, there you have it.